Okay, this is Mike Soares of Soares'y tenor guitars, or Soares'y guitars. Uh, we basically make tenor guitars. We make octave mandolins and mandocellos, stuff like that. I've had a couple of customers and potential buyers asking me about how we attach the neck to the guitar. This is on an arch top hollow body guitar, not a solid body. This is for an arch top guitar. We've been making custom tenor guitars since 1992, and up until this year, because of COVID, a lot of Chinese makers have cut back on certain items that didn't sell as well as others, and that includes this here. This is a small neck plate that was used a lot in the 60s on a lot of Japanese guitars, and they were still making them. This is made by Wilkinson in Korea, and what they did was COVID came along. They sold out whatever inventory they had, and they have since the 2.5 years now, they have not remade this particular neck joint plate, which is used a lot for tenor guitars, used for electric mandolins, stuff like that. It's a smaller plate. You will see a couple of them online. They used to sell for $1. Now they ask for $8–9 because they know they're no longer made. But this is basically 1.5 inches by a little less than 2.5 on that plate there. And this is what we've used for the past 30 years on our tenor guitars. And like I say, these are no longer being made. You can find one or two around. If you need like one, you can buy one on eBay. But I don't know if they're ever going to start remaking them. Because they stopped making them about 2 years ago and sold out their inventory, what we started doing was we started using this other method of attaching the necks to the bodies. This is to show you, this would be the neck block. The neck would be on this side, and this would be the back of the arch top guitar. What we do in this case is, this is a 3/4 inch washer, which is your main force of holding down. You notice we only drill a small hole through the back, and then we take this here, then we put on there what we call a finishing washer, which makes it so that the screw lays flat, doesn't stick out. The whole washer sticks out a little bit, but it does. You're not going to get your screw sticking out of the back of that there. Okay, so it makes a nice, neat setup. And then we like to use square screws. We feel we get a better grip than the Phillips head. And oops, should have held on to it. But this is how we do our guitars. Okay, and what this does is, this is 4 3/4 inch washers. So that gives you approximately 3 square inches of force onto the back. So what this actually does is it clamps the back of the guitar to the neck block, and the screws go through, and then they clamp in and they draw the neck into the neck block. So you got the neck block and the back of the guitar acting as your clamp, and your neck block, your neck and your back of your guitar acting as a clamp, and then your neck block is in between. So that's holding everything together. Now they're asking me about this. Well, we did this because this here is no longer available, in large quantities. And there's a couple of companies out there now. What they're doing is they're making archtop guitars with these recessed neck joint plates, or whatever you want to call them. Again, they have a decorative washer and the screw. They come like this. Now these are a little deeper than an 1/8 inch deep. Your average back on an archtop guitar, whether it's solid wood or plywood, is usually a little thinner than an 1/8 of an inch. It's in between an 1/8 and a 1/16 of an inch. And what they're doing is you're drilling, countersinking a hole down into the back of the guitar. So what you're actually doing is you're taking away the wood from the back of the guitar and you're attaching right to the neck block. This goes right down to the neck block. You no longer have your back of your guitar adding to the support of your neck. So right now you're going block into the neck, as if you didn't have a back on here at all. Now the backs are glued on to the neck block. And that's how this is set up. Okay. Now this, you have more wood being held, so your back, you're actually attaching your back to your neck block. Even though they're glued, you're adding support from the back to the neck block. Here, you're taking away the wood that would normally support the back of the guitar, and you're going directly to the neck block into the neck, attaching it. So if for any reason to change in weather, if your glue fails, just tension on the neck on this here. I'll give you a demonstration. Usually it takes about 2 or 3 years, but what happens is this breaks away and you wind up with this, because you don't have the wood that you would normally have on the back. You're losing all that support. Now on this here, much harder. This holds on. So this is going to hold your guitar up a lot longer. You don't have to worry about your back of your neck block separating from the body. It would take a great deal of force to do that. Okay? Now the only thing I can recommend to you is, if you do have this system set up on your guitar, and if you have enough room where you can place like a standard Stratocaster neck plate over that, this whole neck plate here will actually hold the back and support it. So you're clamping your neck plate, your back into your neck block into your neck. Gives you a much stronger setup on there than if you just have this here, which can break away at any time. Now these are fine for solid body guitar. That's really what they're made for. These are made for solid body guitars. If you have an odd neck, sometimes they use 3 because of the way the cutouts are on the neck, or you have an odd size neck, octave mandolin, stuff like that. If it's a solid body guitar, these are more than fine, because you're going into the solid body itself and connecting the neck. But for an archtop guitar, if you can't get this plate here, if you're building a lot of guitars, then this is the way to go. Or if you have an odd size guitar too, you can also use this here. If you need an odd thing, it won't fit a regular standard neck plate. We use a 3/4 inch washer, number 10, a number 10 finishing washer. So you get a nice round fin, not going to catch on your clothes as you're playing a guitar. And you can use any screw you want with this here. But this is just to show you why we're doing this here, because the other ones are no longer available. And it's a very good system, and you don't have to worry about your neck, the back of your guitar separating from the neck block. Again, this is Mike Soares, Soares'y Guitars. Thank you.